Okay, so last week we talked about structure and function, right? Anatomy and physiology. And we also talk about characteristic of life, right? And we also talk about the condition that we have to maintain our internal body condition that have to be maintained continuously. What do you call that? Homeostasis. And this is the major theme or the main theme for this course. We always will talk about homeostasis related to structure and function. Normal body function will produce what? Normal body structure will produce the normal body function. Okay? And now the question is how we maintain the homeostasis. Remember, if we unable to maintain homeostasis, there are maybe three possibilities that will happen to us. What is the first one? Sick or ill. What is the second one? Syndrome or sometimes called disorder. Syndrome or disorder. That's the same thing. So sick or ill, syndrome or disorder. What is the last one? Bye-bye to the world. Die. You dead. Because your body unable to maintain your homeostasis. Again, what is the difference between ill, sick, with disorder or syndrome? Sickness, usually we know the symptom, the sign, and the cause. Therefore, we can fix it, right? You can cure the disease. You can cure the illness, right? How about syndrome or disorder? Mostly you cannot cure it. It's usually disorder or symptom carried with you or with someone. Mostly they are genetic. It cannot be cured. It is part of their life. So they always in what? Homeostasis condition. They are always in abnormal condition. Example, the famous example is what? Down syndrome, right? So Down syndrome, they never cure. They just Down syndrome for the whole of their life. And mostly, they have a lot of problem with their organs. Their heart has a problem, their brain have a problem. They're usually abnormal. And many of them actually have very short life, right? They usually die earlier because of this disorder or syndrome. You get this one? Okay. Now the question is how? How we maintain homeostasis? How? Okay. Our body maintain homeostasis. Okay, you with me? So inside our body, we have what we call the feedback system. Okay, so this is how we maintain homeostasis by using what? Feedback system. Okay, feedback system. What does that mean? It means that if we have stimulus, we answer that stimulus, okay? We control that stimulus, and then finally we produce the response against that stimulus. We give feedback, right? Our body give feedback based on the stimulus that we receive. That's the reason why it's called the feedback system. Okay, a feedback system. And that feedback system, there are two types. There are two types feedback system. The most type of feedback system that we use, maybe 90% or maybe 99%, we use this first type of feedback system. It's called negative feedback system. let's say about maybe 90%, we use this negative feedback system. The second one, maybe about less than 10%, we use what? It's going to be positive, okay? Positive feedback system. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these two feedback systems? What does negative mean? It's not bad. This is the system that makes us good. What? This is the system that makes us good because this is the one that control our hemostasis. The name is actually not telling you negative is bad or positive is good. No. Negative means the response will always oppose the stimulus. Get it? So negative feedback system over here. Okay. When the response oppose the stimulus. You hear me? Example. Let's say you do exercise. When you do exercise, what happens with your body temperature? Goes up. Maybe going to 100, 101. Right? So let's say body temperature up. Got it? You hear me? So up above the normal. Let's say the normal is here. Body temperature. Let's say you do exercise. And then what happens with your body temperature? Up. What is the normal body temperature? Let's say over here 98 degree, right? That's the normal. So what happens when you do exercise? Boom, it's up. Okay, which is normal or abnormal? It's abnormal. Got it? What you have to do? You have to make it down to this 98. You get it? So that the response will what? Lower the body temperature. The stimulus is increase body temperature, then the response will be lowering the temperature. So this is the response. Okay, that's example of negative feedback system. How? Remember, this feedback system, whether negative or positive, they have three components. Three components of feedback system. What is the first component? The component of homeostasis. What is the first one? Receptor, right? The one that receives. The first component is receptor. In this example over here, when do exercise, what happens? Our body receive the receptor, which is we call the thermoreceptor. The heat receptor in our body receive that, our body temperature increase, right? What is next? It will be carried into the second component, which is control center. Control center, mostly the brain. Mostly the brain as our control center. Our endocrine gland also a control example of control center. But mostly brain, the main control center in our body. So that high body temperature will be carried by the sensory neurons into the control center. And the brain will, oh man, my body temperature increased. I have to do something. I have to order someone to lower the body temperature, right? And the brain will send the order to the effector. Okay? Effector. In this case over here, in the case of exercise, the effector will be what? Sweat gland. Okay? Sweat gland is the effector for this process over here. Why? The sweat gland then do the action. What's the action done by the sweat gland? Produce the sweat, sweating, and then you sweating. When you sweating, what happens? Your body temperature will decrease into the normal range. You get this one? That's example of negative feedback system. You with me? Now, look at another example over here. I mentioned last time, during the winter time, snow outside, you going outside naked. Okay? Now what happened with your body temperature? Now we do differently. Okay? Naked in the snow. Okay? Get it? What happened to your body temperature? Drop below the normal range. Right? Are you with me? And then it will carry to your brain, and your brain will do something and order the effector. What is the effector will be? Shivering, which is muscle, right? Contraction of muscle. What happened with your body temperature? Going up, right? Response will be going up. Right? Into normal range. What do you call this feedback? Negative or positive?
Still negative.
Still negative. Remember, what is the definition for negative feedback system? The response opposes the stimulus. Are you with me? What is the first one? When exercise, the stimulus is increased, then the response decreases into normal. What is in the second example? The temperature decrease, and then you increase it. The response increases. It is, or they are still negative feedback system. Get this one? That's the reason why most of the time, 90% or even more than 90%, our feedback system is negative feedback system. Because that's the easy way. This is the way to be normal. Like for example, if you have high blood pressure, right? Get it? You have high blood pressure. Your blood pressure increase. What you have to do? You have to decrease it. How? The brain will tell the heart, please slow down, man, slow down. Don't work too hard. Don't push the blood so hard. And the heart say, okay, boss. That's negative feedback system, right? Most of the time, our feedback system are negative. Are you with me? Now, how about positive feedback system? The easy example is when yesterday. Happened in yesterday. What is yesterday? Labor Day for women. Okay. So now it's for women. Okay. The example is Labor Day for women. What is Labor Day for women? Delivery, right? Delivery time. That's Labor Day. Is that right? Women having labor delivery. That's I'm gonna use that example. So what happened when the woman ready to have Labor Day? Okay, let's say this is the uterus. This is uterus. Get it? And inside the uterus, that lady have what? Baby. I don't know, maybe look like this, okay? And he smile. Hey, You get this one? Now, what happens is during Labor Day, this uterus have muscle, what? Has muscle. It's called the uterine muscle, which is smooth muscle. What? So the uterus muscle will contract. Right? Will contract to do what? To push the baby out. Because what? Labor Day. Okay? You get this one? So this is stimulus over here. Stimulus. What is the stimulus? Increase contraction, right? Right? Increase contraction. Right? Now, when it is increased contraction, the sensory system actually will bring to the control center, to the brain, okay? To the brain, and the brain, I have to help uterus, right? I have to help it. How? Making more contraction. How? By producing hormone is called the oxytocin. So this one produce oxytocin, right? And this oxytocin actually will go to the muscle, the same muscle. So the stimulus and response is the same muscle. The effector and the receptor are the same over here. Right? And then the oxytocin will tell this uterus muscle to contract more. Get it? So this is contraction, right? Contraction. More. Are you with me?
Now it's real bad.
Now real bad, it is bad until when? It will actually will be normal again. What happened? When the baby when the baby born, then this feedback system stop. Get it? You are in normal again. I finished my labor day. You get it? You see that one? Stimulus increase. Stimulus. What is the response? Increase more. More and more and more and more and more. You get it? So when you see more and more and more in the response, whether increase more or decrease more, it will be what? Positive feedback system. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find the example of positive feedback system because it's very rare. It's not that many, right? Negative system, we have many examples. Get it? Are you with me? That's the how our body maintains the homeostasis. By doing what? Using what? Feedback system. How many type of feedback system? Two. What is the first one? What does negative mean? Respond, oppose the stimulus. What is the second one? Positive. What does positive mean? The response increase more or decrease more. Okay? Or it's actually adding. Okay? The stimulus. Okay? Oh, you have a question? Oh, okay. And then these two feedback system, whether positive and negative, will always have three components. You get it? What is the first component? Receptor. What did the receptor do? Receive. The name is telling you. Receive the stimulus. Get it? And then what is the second one? Control center. What the control center do? The name is telling you. Control it. Okay? Whether receive that information and then will produce the order, right? It's just producing the order. It's not really do the action. Your brain do not do the action. Are you with me? Right? Your brain is not the one that kills someone. Huh? Your brain is the one that order to kill someone, or order to you to eat, or to sleep, or to talk. What? The brain don't do it. Who is the one that doing it? The third one, which is the effector. Are you with me? Effector. I'm gonna list 5 effector over here because we have actually limited effector in our body. Receptor is, there are many. So we will talk about receptor later. But the effector is actually very limited. we only have about 5 types of organs that perform action in our body. That's how we work. So the brain will control these 5 effectors. Right? What is the 3 of them is actually muscle. The 3 of these effectors is actually muscle. Because what? Muscle contract. Muscle perform action. What's going on? Are you with me? The second one is actually called the gland. Why glands? Because glands do action. What action glands perform? Produce something, right? They do action by producing something. That's the gland. Get it? Alright. The 3 muscle over here, which is 3 effector of muscle. What is the first one? The easiest one is here. The one that you can control voluntarily. What you call this muscle over here? The one that attached to your skeleton, to your bone. No, this is bicep. Yeah, each of these have name, bicep, frontal, but all of them is called what? Skeletal muscle. What does skeletal muscle mean? Attached to the skeleton, to the bone. This is the one that moves our skeleton. So during Halloween, if you see skeleton move by itself, it's a fake. Never happen. Because what? That skeleton need muscle to move. Without muscle, it will never happen. So just fake. Don't be scared. During the Halloween time, the bone move by itself. Somebody move it. Are you with me? So what is the first one? Skeletal muscle. Get it? What is the second muscle that you have? This is the one that pump the blood. No? Heart muscle. This is the one that pump the blood, and it is located where? On the heart. It's called heart muscle. What is the scientific term for the heart muscle? Cardiac muscle. Cardio means heart. So the second one is cardiac muscle. Right? It's beat your heart. Maybe increase, maybe decrease. That's how the brain controls later. Get it? What is the next one? This is the one that usually located in the, I don't know how to say it. How you hello? Okay, hello? Hello organs. Hello organs. What is the example of hello organs? The one that have channel in it, like your esophagus, what? Your stomach, the one that have space in it. Long organ. Hello organ. Okay. Urinary system also a organ, right? Like your urethra, that is also hollow organ. Your blood vessel is also hollow organ, okay? Because it's long organ with blood in it, right? Hollow organ. You get this one? So there is muscle over there. There is muscle. And this muscle is called what? Smooth muscle. Smooth muscle. Smooth muscle. So these are the 3 types of muscles that we have. And these are the effectors also. They contract or they relax. They do something. Okay, based on the control center. Get it? Now, how about the glands? What is gland? Gland is organ that produce something. Maybe liquid, what? Like saliva, sweat. Got it? There are 2 types of gland. If the product is out from our body, right? They produce the product and the products out from our body. That gland is called the exo. Exo means exit. The name is actually easy for anatomy and physiology. It's telling you what happened. What? Exocrine or crine gland, which is the gland that produce the product, and the product is exit from our body. Okay? Can you give me example of the exocrine glands in your body? I'm crying right now. What happened with me? Crying. What happened with my eyes? Water in it. What do you call that water? Tear. Therefore, we have tear gland in our eyes. That tear gland is example of exocrine gland. What? We do exercise and then we produce sweat gland in our skin. Yeah, we eat and we produce water in our mouth. That's also out from our body into the mouth. Mouth is considered as outside in our body. What? It's outside. And then what we call that gland? Salivary glands. We have 3 pairs on it, right? Get it? Right. Enzymes. Enzyme is actually produced by the exocrine gland. We have pancreas, for example, that produce enzyme, and the enzyme is go to our stomach. Inside the lumen of the stomach is considered as outside our cell. Okay? It's going outside. That's also what? Enzyme gland is also exocrine gland. Are you with me? Anybody else? Anybody have any example? How about here in the nose? We mentioned last time. Nasal gland, especially is called what? The one that produces mucus. Mucus gland. Get it? In our ear. Earwax. You produce what? Produced by the? It's called the ceruminous gland, which is the earwax gland. So there is a earwax gland that produces the earwax. Get it? I'm still giving you the English name, but they have scientific name later. We're gonna learn that one. A lot, what? Earwax gland. Ceruminous. That's the name. Ceruminous. You're gonna learn it later. Ceruminous gland. What? Spit gland is salivary gland. That's the scientific name. Get it? That's example of exocrine gland. And again, they produce by the control of the control center. What? Controlled by the brain. What is the next gland? This is the gland that produce product, and that product stay inside our body. Yes, mostly going to the blood. Carried by the blood from one place to another place. Like for example, insulin. Insulin produced by the organ is called what? What organ produce insulin? Pancreas, right? There's a special cell called the beta cell produce the insulin. Where the insulins go actually? Go to your liver. Right? Inside the liver, the insulin will take a lot of glucose, sugar from your blood, causing the blood concentration in your blood will be lower. Are you with me? So what happens if you don't have insulin? Your pancreas really bad. Like in the diabetic type 1, their pancreas actually do not produce insulin. So they have to be dependent on insulin injection, right? So what happens if you do that? No insulin production. Your blood sugar will be spiked. And you have disease called diabetes. Are you with me? So again, the second type of gland is the gland that produce product and the product stay inside. Therefore, it's called endo. Okay? You have exo, exit, endo, inside. Get it? Okay? Called the endocrine gland. Yeah, you mentioned it. Endocrine gland is also known as hormonal gland because the product that produced by the endocrine gland, it has special name. It's called hormones. What? Hormones. And there are more than 100 hormones. Insulin, for example. What else? What is a male hormone? That's testosterone. How about female? What hormone you have? Estrogen, right? You guess what? I don't have estrogen. Okay. Hormone. And again, that's all the products of endocrine. Hormone stay inside your body. It will not go out from your body. It will be used inside your body. Are you with me? Again, these are the only 5 effectors in our body. That's it. That's the way your body works. You actually do action by these 5 effectors. Are you with me? Now from these 5 effectors, only one, there's one over here, only one that you really able to control if you wish. It is called the voluntary. Voluntary effector. Voluntary effector. Yeah? Voluntary effector. What does that mean? You can control it. If you wish, you can do it. Get it? Only one. What is that? Your skeletal muscle. If you want to, I like to give an example. If you want to kill someone, what is actually the one that you control? The only one is skeletal muscle, right? First, what you do? You control this muscle over here. Go to the kitchen, right? That's voluntary effector. Take a knife, that's voluntary effector. Go back to the bedroom, and then, are you with me, right? That's voluntary. Sorry for the bad example, but I hope it stay with you. It stay with you. That's the only effector that you can control. Okay? How about the other 4? Cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, endocrine, they are what we call the involuntary. It means that you cannot really control them. It will do action by themselves. Even though your brain do it, but it's automatic. Automatic control. Automatic. Example. Let's say cardiac muscle. Can you stop your heart beating? Stop it right now if you want it. Can you do it? No, it's just beat by itself. Come on, stop. You have been working so hard. Well, how old you are? Let's say 21, 22 years, right? Your heart already beating for 22 years. And then you say that, please stop. You work so hard. Can you do it? No. Even your brain says, stop. Can you do it? No, because what? Cardiac muscle is involuntary effector. Are you with me? How about smooth muscle? Example, if you eat at night, and then you sleep, where does your food go? To stomach, right? Do you think your stomach will stop digesting the food even though you are resting at that time? No, because what? Stomach has smooth muscle. The smooth muscle will do the action, even though you are sleeping. Therefore, it is bad eat before sleeping. What? Why? Other part of your body resting, you make your stomach working hard over there. Your stomach, your pancreas is working. And then finally what happened? They gave up. Man, this man always make me work at night. So what happened? The pancreas say, I give up, and then I will give him pancreas cancer. Get it? That's the easy one. Are you with me? Or I will give him the good. What is good? What is good? Acid reflux, right? I will give him acid reflux. This is a lesson for him. Not to eat before sleep. That's bad. That's what he said, not me. Okay? That's what is that? The smooth muscle says. It will not stop. It will continuously contracting because what? They are involuntary effector. How about exocrine gland? Can you sweat right now? Can you?
No.
But whenever your body temperature increase, you exercise, what happens? You're sweating by itself, right?
What if you crawl on the
Try that. If you're actress, you can do it. Some of them, okay, just for information, like some exotic gland, like salivary gland, tear gland, sometimes you can control it a little bit. Got it? They have that connection a little bit. Okay, you can produce saliva, right now. That's voluntary control. But when you eat, it will produce by itself. Because what? It sends the food over there. Oh, there is a food, I have to digest it, I have to produce salivary gland. And sometimes, if you see someone eat so delicious food, what happens with your salivary gland? You drool. You get this idea, right? Yeah, salivary gland, sometimes the tears gland, you can control a little bit, but it's not 100%. Get it? Good question. Right. Now, endocrine gland is the same. It's the same. I cannot say my testicle to produce testosterone right now. Come on, produce a lot. I want to be macho. Right? Yeah. But whenever I see my wife, for example, whoa, it's produced. Just, this is just an example, okay? Just example. Or maybe some of you the same. Right? So your hormone, you cannot really control it. It will be produced by itself. Because what? Because they are involuntary effect. Do you have question? What is it? No? Alright. We done with homeostasis. We done with the feedback system. But make sure you understand it because we're gonna use it over and over and over when we talk about functions in our body. When we talk about the system in our body. Okay. If you don't have question, we'll continue with this. Okay. So we're gonna learn a little bit about biological organization. Okay. So make sure you do understand that our body is really organized. Get it? It's really organized. Okay? It consists of or organized from the very smallest thing until the biggest part of our body, which is our cell. Get it? So therefore, in this class, we're gonna learn from the smallest unit of the organization. Okay? On the chapter 2, we're gonna learn that. What is the smallest unit of anything?
Atom.
Any matter. Atom. Okay? So start from atoms. Get it? Atoms inside our body will organize into a bigger things. Maybe 2 atoms bind together, 3 atoms bind together, even 1,000 atoms they bind together to make this second organization. What you call the combination of atoms? Not yet. Not cell yet. Molecule. Molecule. It's not cell yet, it's molecules. Get it? The molecules, actually there are 2 types of molecules. Okay? The first one is called simple molecule. Right? And sometimes if you take a class, that class is called inorganic. Okay? What is inorganic mean? Simple molecules. Okay? So you take inorganic chemistry, you're gonna learn about simple molecules. Okay? What does simple molecule mean? The molecule that only consists maybe 2, 3, 4, or 5 atoms. That's it. No more than 5. Okay? Example. A lot of molecules in our body actually simple molecule. Let's say the one that we drink. What is that? What we drink? What is the formula of water? H2O, right? So how many atoms here? How many atoms in this water? 3. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. Get it? That's simple. Next, the one that we breathe in. The air that we breathe in. What is that? What is the formula for the oxygen gas that we breathe in? It's O2. How many atoms? 2. 2 oxygen atoms. The one that we breathe out. CO2. How many atoms? 3. 1 carbon, 2 oxygen. Is that it? That's example of simple molecule. They are very simple. It is called inorganic. Now what is the second type of molecules then? If you have simple, you're gonna have complex. Complex molecule. Or what is the opposite of inorganic? Organic. So if you take organic symmetry, it's gonna be harder, right? Because what? You learn big molecule, right? Complex molecule. Organic. Anybody taking organic chemistry right now? You're gonna learn big molecule. In our body, in this class, we're gonna learn 4 of them. 4 types of organic molecules. The first one is the one that consists of many sugars. It's called carbohydrate. Carbohydrate. That's example of complex molecule. Example is starch, for example. Okay. What is the second one? The one that have a lot of amino acid, usually in the meat. Protein. Right? So protein is a complex molecule. Get it? The next one is the one that sometimes is in the meat also. This is actually storage for things, make us bigger sometimes. Lipid or fat, okay? Lipid or fat. They are all them. And number 4 is mostly located inside our nucleus. This is the one that carry our genes, DNA and RNA, right? They call nucleic acid. So nucleic acid, which is in our body, consists of DNA and RNA. So these are complex organic molecules. Are you with me? Now look at it. These molecules organize to make this. What is Alexis? Molecule combined to make? See, you already answered that before. Cell. Okay? Cell. You get this one? Now look at the cell. Look at the cell. Let's say look like this. Okay? What do you call this cell? What does you call the membrane of the cell? No. Cell membrane. Cell membrane. Cell membrane mostly lipids, right? So mostly lipids. 99% cell membrane consists of lipids, which is what? One of the molecules over there. Get it? You mean? Inside the cell, what do you call the everything that inside the cell? Cell have cell membrane, and then what is the whole content in the cell called? Cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm. What is in the cytoplasm? First, you have liquid over here, right? 70% is actually liquid. What do you call that liquid? That simple molecule over there.
H2O.
No, water. Liquid water. See here? So it has organic molecule, complex molecule. It also has simple molecule. Are you with me? Okay? You get it? Okay? When you breathe in, it's actually the oxygen will enter into your cell. So you have a lot of oxygen in cell. Get it? Which is what? Simple molecule. And then this oxygen will be used to make ATP. And then there is extra product that you cannot use it. It has to be out from your cell. It's called the carbon dioxide. So there is also carbon dioxide over there, right? Which is simple molecule. Are you with me? Right. Now you have, what do you call this one? Nucleus. Right? Nucleus. In nucleus you have this. What is that? DNA. What is DNA? That's over there. One of the organic molecules, right? DNA will be converted into RNA. RNA will be out from the cell, go to the organelle. It's called the ribosome. Ribosome mostly produce protein. So you have a protein inside the cell. Are you with me? You have all these components inside the cell is actually component of molecule. You get this one? Okay. How many cells do you have in your body? Too many. Trillion, right? So this cell is actually they organize. Okay? Some of them become this, some of them become that. So what do you call the organization of cell? Tissue. Cell make tissue. Get it? Tissue. Now, just for information, in human body, there are actually only 4 types of tissue. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 types of tissue in our body. The first one is called the ET. What is ET? Extraterrestrial. No, it's not ET. ET is epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue. So mostly epithelial tissue will be like this. So they organize differently. It's different type of tissue. Epithelial tissue is the tissue that consists of cells that bind tightly together, like that. So the cell binding very tight. Therefore, many of them is used for protection. Like in your skin mostly what? Epithelial tissue. Get it? It's protect your body. So the cell bind tightly together. That's ET. What is the second one? It's called CT. What is CT? CT? Connective tissue. Okay? Connective tissue. Connective tissue also consists of cell. But the cell, they are separated. They do not bind. Cell over here, cell over here, cell over here, cell over here, cell over here. They don't bind. Sometimes they're located inside a lumen. Let's say this is blood vessel. Inside the blood vessel you have what? You have cells. And that cells are separated. Like red blood cell over there, white blood cell, platelet for example. And these cells are not combined, are not bind. They are separated. That's the characteristic of connective tissue. The cell separated, and between the cell there is something what we call the matrix. The matrix can be liquid, like in the blood, right? The matrix is liquid. So between the cell there is actually water, liquid. It's called the blood plasma. In the bone is actually connective tissue. It has cell, but the cell will have matrix that is very solid because it has calcium carbonate, which is the bone, the bone matrix, which is very hard, solid. It can be liquid or maybe solid. We're gonna learn this one later. But right now, just for information, the ET, the cell bind together. What? CT, cell separated. What is the next one? This is special tissue that can be used for contraction and retraction. What you call that thing? What do you call something that can contract and relax? Come on. What do you call this? Muscle. Therefore, muscle and T. Muscle tissue. Got it? It has how it look like. It consists of special cell that is very long. So the cell is very long. Okay, and that cell able to contract and retract or relax. What? That's a muscle tissue. How many type of muscle? How many type of muscle tissue there? No, we already mentioned before. Effector. Remember effector? How many type of muscle as an effector? Only muscle, not the gland. 3. What is the first type of muscle? Skeletal muscle. You're gonna have skeletal muscle tissue. What is the second one? Cardiac muscle. What is the third one? Smooth muscle. From these 3, which one is voluntary? Which one is voluntary? Only skeletal muscle. The other 2, involuntary muscle. You get this one? That's a muscle tissue. What is the next one? This is the one that make you nervous. What you call it? Nervous tissue. Okay. Nervous tissue. Right? What does nervous tissue look like? Remember, tissue consists of cell, right? So nervous tissue consists of cell that has special function to carry the information. It's called the impulses. So the cell is gonna be look like this. This is one cell. Maybe there is another cell over here. Okay? So consists of special cells that carry impulses, information, stimulus, sensation. Got it? And the cell over here is called neuron. Neuron. So they have special cell. It's called neuron. And these neurons have 3 parts. The first part is the one that receives the stimulus, is called dendrite. So whenever somebody touching you, the dendrite actually will receive the information. Somebody touch me. Got it? After the dendrite, the stimulus goes to the second part over here. It's called the cell body. Got it? Cell body will process that stimulus. And then finally what? It will bring the response or order through the third part of neuron. The longest part of the neuron is called axon. So axon is the one that carry order. Get it? That's the nervous tissue consists of cell called the neuron. Cell, trillion of neurons in our brain. Which make the nervous tissue. You get this one? We're gonna learn that later. Okay? Closely. Okay? A little bit. We're gonna finish the organization first, and then we're gonna continue later. Okay, after tissue will make what? Organs. And we have hundreds of organs. Sometimes it's difficult to learn organ by itself. Right? It is better to learn organ within the organization. What do you call the organization of organ? It's called the organ system. Okay? And we have 11. We only have 11 organ system in our body. We'll learn that next time. Right? Only 11 system in our body. Right? This 11 system then make me, make you. What you call it? Organism. Okay? Organism. Okay. So far we got here. Next time we're gonna learn this, especially the organ system. And then we'll continue with chapter 2 next week also. Okay? We finish chapter 1 and continue with chapter 2 on not next week, sorry, on Thursday. You have questions? And just for information, the one that have lab tomorrow, remember there is quiz, right? So make sure you read the schedule. Weekly lecture schedule, lab schedule. So if you have lab tomorrow, Wednesday, you have quiz. The Thursday also will have quiz. Right? If you have Thursday lab. Right? This is just kind of announcement. If you don't have question, we're done for today. I'll see you tomorrow for the one that have lab on Wednesday or Thursday. If you have lab on Thursday, so you have lecture on Thursday. You have a good day. So when sorry.
Because I want to